So here we are on election day in New York City. The line, as you can see, for the polling station, which is that blue gate up there, is half a block long. This is the front page of the New York Post this morning. Vote for the one you dislike least. And then there's a special election inside, but it's kind of interesting, appealing to the millennial voters. There's other headlines which I'll show you later. So this block is moving very, very slowly. As you can see, it goes all the way half a block long, just about to get run over by the sanitation truck. I'm just going up to talk to one of the voters, somebody I know. I happened to find her in the line. We thought she could just turn up and vote. Hasn't seen lines like this before. Okay, so if I could get your name, please.
Kate Horsfield.
And what are you doing here today?
I'm voting.
Could you look into the camera?
Sure.
Thanks. You're voting. Do you want to share with viewers who you're voting for?
Sure what?
With voters, with viewers who you're voting for.
Well, I'm voting straight Democrat, as I have since the 60s.
And have you ever seen lines like this?
Never. I mean, I voted in New York for years and years, and it was always a 5-minute job. Today it looks like it might be 45 minutes to an hour, and that's great. It's really great that so many people are out here voting. I mean, I'm assuming it's more people rather than less places to vote. So it's great.
What do you mean less places to vote? You mean because of the consolidation of polling stations?
You know, who knows? Maybe they consolidated voting places.
Yeah.
So more people, you know, in a wider area have to use one polling place. I don't know.
Right.
But if this is because more people are engaged with the political process, it's great.
And what did you think about the election that went on for the campaign that went on for 2 years?
It was excruciating. It was horrible. I mean, you know, we hope it will be over tonight, but I don't think so. I think the divisions in the country are so profound that it's going to take a lot, you know, to get people back together, if ever, if they ever can do it. It's really bad.
Yes, I don't know what's going on with this. Is this working? I think this is bloody working. Oh yes, there we go. People want to know if you're having fun standing in line.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it fun. I mean, I think it's an obligation to do it, but I'm fascinated. It's not fun, but fascinating.
Why are you fascinated?
Well, the numbers of people, and I'm getting a look at my neighborhood. We don't always get to see each other together in a line. So that's interesting, you know. And of course I'm looking for the people that I know from the neighborhood who I don't see here right this minute. So it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing this for?
This is for RT America. Yes.
Is that a YouTube channel or?
No, it's Russia television.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. They have a New York bureau. I guess I want to just show the line. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Right. inside now, there's like almost nobody left because they basically, the line was so blocked that it was so packed in there that they stopped letting people in.
I think this is a line for your table though, so if you know what table you're
I tried
at.
to go to the front, they said no.
They said no?
Yeah.
Children.
I'm just going to hang around here for a bit to see if we can find a voter to talk to. There was a conversation going on down the line there about some delays. I have to find out what that's all about. Do you have just a few minutes to talk about what happened in there?
Oh no, I don't want to be in. She does.
No.
Please, just 5 minutes.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's okay.
I'm camera
Yeah,
shy.
me too. I'm so
So
sorry.
am I.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Well, like, what about just talking to me off camera?
Off camera.
Yes. So we'll just have a view of the street.
Okay.
Did you want to stand here?
Okay.
Okay. So you've just come out to vote.
Yes.
Was this the first year you were voting?
Yes.
Yes.
And what was the experience like?
It was good actually.
It was good.
Pretty
It was
quick.
a little bit disorganized inside, but like
But
the
fairly
lines.
quick.
But it was good overall.
Yes.
Yeah, and the people that
Oh,
were
very
assisting
helpful.
were super helpful. Like very nice.
So there was no problem with machines not working or anything? I heard someone further down.
At first, but it held up the line for a bit, but not that long.
We were still, the line was pretty long, but
Yeah.
when we got in there, it was
It was
fine.
easy.
And do you want to share who you voted for?
Sure.
Sure.
Hillary.
And why is that?
Well, there's not much option, is there?
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. That sounds something like I right up my alley. So what I'm doing is kind of like
Excuse me, could I just interview you about what you did in there? 2 minutes.
Sure.
Sure, it's for a live broadcast for RT America. It's okay. It's pretty harmless.
Okay.
So if can I just ask what you've just come out of this building? Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah, lost the camera there. Public School 15. And what were you doing in there?
Voting.
And was this the first general election you voted in?
Yes.
And how was the experience?
Interesting.
Why is that?
Well, I'm a dual citizen with Canada and the U.S.
Oh,
And so I've just moved back to the U.S. And the process is very different. And there's only 3 machines in there, and there's clearly hundreds of people. So everybody's very polite, but it really isn't efficient.
it's done differently in Canada, is it?
Yes, yeah.
How many
I mean,
machines would be there in Canada?
Well, usually there's a box. Like you actually just fill it in, close it, put it in the box, and you leave.
Oh, I see. Old style, ballot style.
Yeah.
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 So how long were you online before you got in to vote today?
Probably an hour about an hour, and then inside, that's just outside, and then inside there's like a whole bunch of other winding lines. So you get your ballot, then you go behind your little booth, and then you join another line to scan it into the machine, and that was probably another additional hour.
Did you take the day off work today to
No,
come
I'm
and
going
vote?
back to work. I started this morning at 7, and then I'll just go back and finish up the day.
All right, well, thank you very much. What's your name?
Welcome. Chris.
Chris,
Yeah.
from Canada. Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right.
Something that
So there you heard it. There's this line, which is half a block long, and then inside there's further lines, and there are 3 polling machines. 3. And look at this line. There has to be, like, I'd estimate about 100 people. And by the way, this line goes round the block. You know, it doesn't just end there at the end of the street. It goes round the block. That was a voter there who has dual nationality. He said the system is better in Canada. It seems to be a paper ballot that they then put in a box rather than machines, which they pull here. So that probably explains why there's this massive line. The other thing is that there may, as one of the previous voters I was talking to suggested, there may be some consolidation of voting precincts, which would mean lines like this are to be expected, because instead of multiple places where you can go and vote, there's just 1 or 2 in a neighborhood, a catchment area. All right, well, I'm going to end this broadcast now. This has been from the Lower East Side in New York City. Someone's just cheering in there. So far, I didn't ask what the Canadian Peter was who he voted for, but certainly 2 young ladies who didn't want to go on camera said they had voted for Hillary, and an earlier voter had said she had voted for Hillary. And I just want to show you the front page of the New York Post today. Here we go. So I'm going to stop the broadcast.